Hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's Post-Match Pint, the only West Ham United post-match fuller show on the internet. We've just come back from the London Stadium. It was West Ham 1, Swansea City 0. We
Yes!
sit here and
We
won! Bloody win after 6 long, it must be longer than that.
Oh,
8 games.
Yeah, it was 8 games without a win. Let's go through the starting lineup. Scotty, take us through the starting lineup.
Randolph continuing in goal. Byron right back. Masuaku left back. Ginger Collins and Font in the centre. Lanzini on the left. Noble, Kuyate playing alongside him. Snodgrass on the right. And it looked like sort of Antonio and Ayew playing up top, but Ayew was a bit deeper of the two. So, yeah.
Saka and Carroll on the bench.
Very big risk, I thought, leaving them two out.
Well, to be honest, I don't think they were fit.
I tell you, that lineup, right, got so much of a backlash online. People were not happy. Everyone was like, Billick's lost it here.
People going April Fools was last week.
Yeah, but when I see it, I thought, he's setting up to keep this 0-0 as long as he can before he can bring Saka. Because if we'd have gone 1 or 2-0 down, we'd have lost that game today.
Oh, totally.
Because I don't think they would have come back.
No,
that team.
Getting that first goal was important, and the timing of the timing of us getting it, I thought was massive. You know,
Yeah.
but it's just like I said, I don't. You saw Carroll come out and warm up once, and that was like 20 minutes.
The thing is, if he's injured, why risk him? You've seen what's happened before.
But that was a massive game today.
Yeah.
I thought we would have risked him.
I think like they were there
As backup.
I think Sacco would probably have done better coming on than Carroll, because Sacco needs games, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Especially
he's
that
itching
last
to
15,
play as
20
well.
minutes.
But again, is it, you know, we keep taking risks. We brought Antonio back a bit too soon. You know, he had that 45 minutes against Arsenal. Did he really have to play against Arsenal? Probably not.
Yeah, but the reason he went off at Arsenal is because he felt sick.
Yeah,
it wasn't
I
an
know,
injury. He was sick during the day, wasn't he?
We were never going to beat Arsenal. You know, at best we would have got a draw, and you don't risk. It's not worth the risk.
It wouldn't have been a draw with Antonio in the side, would it?
Today was more important. You know.
No, I totally agree. But we did it, and it was nervous. I thought, to be honest with you, I didn't think they had two. Excuse me, if you see me sort of wincing, I got a bit of a sore throat. So
yeah, it was a big game. That's what I said in the preview. This was a cup final. And it was a cup final for them as well.
The thing is, I don't really remember them having any chances, really.
No, they never seemed really like threatening to score too much. Like I was never really worried when they were in our box and that. You know.
To be fair, it's the first time in a long time that I didn't get scared when the opposition got to our box.
yeah, they're very.
Yeah, they're
you can
bad.
tell why they're
They're
down now. They were fucking.
Yeah, they
awful
didn't really
today.
offer much, did they?
No, I think they had a couple of half chances in the first half. That was it.
I mean, if we'd have lost today or even drew at home to that team, then you can't you can't moan if we got relegated.
No.
Really, but I think like massive wins today. I think that almost guarantees us Premiership football.
Not quite.
Not quite, but I think
I can't see Swansea getting another 3 wins this season.
it takes a lot of pressure off of going up to Sunderland next week off of us.
Yeah,
That's
they
but
can-
saying that it's still a big game,
Of
isn't
course,
it?
every game's
You know.
big now, but
That's the one. You know, if we can get a result Sunday, whether it's a draw, even a draw, you know, then we're 9 points clear. Obviously, Swansea have got to play, but yeah, we'll be 9 points clear with them, you know, still having to play. So
results went our way today as well.
yeah,
I must admit, before the game, I was a bit nervous because I thought if we choke here, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
I think everyone was.
And obviously, you see what happened to us last year when they turned up. They absolutely annihilated us. It was a, you know, it was an annihilation. It was a murder.
But they had Ayew up front there as well, didn't they?
Yeah. But so I was a bit worried about the fixtures because I thought we never seem to do that well against Swansea, especially when Andy Carroll isn't playing, and you know
We've only lost once to them.
Have we really?
Yeah.
I thought it was more. Maybe it's saying in my
I'm sure-
mind.
He's missed the preview with the stats.
I'm sure it was only once, and that was 4-1 last season.
Yeah, we got a good record.
We got a 4-0 trance in there once. I remember.
No, I'm on about in the Premier League.
That's all right.
I'm sure they ain't beaten us 4-0.
Yeah, they have.
Have they? Oh, I'll have to
pretty
check.
sure of it,
I'll
mate,
have to check.
Yeah, maybe it's one
We'll
of
do
them
a
things.
special on that one.
Yeah. We just have to have a look at it. But it's all right. There's been a lot of draws in.
Oh, yeah, quite a few draws.
Yeah, which would have been not ideal for our situation. But
Anything less than a win.
the thing that impressed me about West Ham today is they rolled up their sleeves, and that's something I ain't seen for a while. I was questioning whether they had the ability to do that. I thought everyone had a good game, and if I had to pick a hole out of their performance, it was Snodgrass again. I honestly, honestly, I think he offered good defensive work, but his forward play is awful.
He kept falling over in the first 15 minutes.
To be fair, yeah, him and Czech both fell over quite a bit in the first. Like, I think even I was slipping around like it was last game.
I think the back four looked comfortable all game for me. I mean, probably Jose Font was a lot better than he has been in the last few games. Ginger was just winning everything
Ginger
in
was
the
up
air.
for that, weren't
Yeah,
he?
he's immense. And even at the end when he come over and give his shirt to someone in the crowd, and you see how much passion he had. Like, it's nice, and it meant a lot to him today. And Byram as well. I thought he had a really good game.
King Arthur was
Masuaku once again.
Do you know what? We were slating him after West Brom and was going, what have we bought here? What have we bought? That's probably the only bad game he's had.
That's the thing. You look back, you know. The thing is, when you have a performance like he did against West Brom, when we record this,
do you remember when
know,
he come down, he slapped it away.
Back then, don't forget, we had Creswell out and we just wanted him back because.
But we everything's raw, isn't it? It's like when you film the fan cams, it's directly after the game. You ain't sat down, you ain't thought about it, you ain't watched replays and all that. So it's a bit when you then, like you said, you sit back and you sit down, and look back at it. Is there one shit game? That's it. You know, the rest of the time he's played well. Yeah,
I think he's been a bit of a decent signing, really.
To be honest, I think it's done us a favour, Creswell getting injured and him coming back, because Creswell's form has been awful. And he's come back in. I didn't think he had that bad a game against Arsenal. No, and he's played really well today. So
Byram was a big one because I thought Byram against Arsenal was terrible.
And Hull even he wasn't.
Yeah, Hull as well. He just seems to. He seemed to panic a lot. He seemed to, take the ball and he just used to oof it to nobody. Well, he do that quite a lot. But I thought today was marvellous, especially that last ditch tackle in the last minute.
Yeah.
And you could see what it meant to the
players.
players.
Celebrated like a goal.
Yeah. And it was one before that. The guy broke down their left, and he caught back up with him and took the ball off him. Noble come straight over to him, had a word with him, rubbed him on the edge. And the thing is, that's what we haven't done with him. I think everyone forgets he's a young lad.
He's only, what was he, 21?
Yeah,
something like that?
And our form this season's been awful. He's only just got a decent run in the side. And sometimes players need that. They need a player who's
It's a
more
confidence thing,
experienced,
isn't it?
to put an arm around him and guide him through it. And I think with Reed and Font, I don't think they do that. Collins does. Collins, if you do something wrong, Collins will tell you you've done something wrong.
I don't think Reed compliments his wife.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
No,
he's just that sort of player, isn't he?
He just worries about his own game and nothing else.
Yeah.
Whereas people like Noble and all that,
which is funny you say that, because a lot of people said he should be captain instead of Noble.
I said Reed should be captain instead of Noble.
Well, that's
not instead of. But
he ain't a big enough.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but he ain't a big enough character.
And if you're just worried about your own game,
there's things I've learned about him this season.
I think he's had spells as captain.
Yeah, he has.
And his game's gone to a bit of shit because he
has to focus on his own performance.
He has to focus really hard on his own game. You know what I mean? Because it starts to go a little bit to toss when he's concentrating on other people's games. But it was a decent half of football from West Ham, I thought, without creating too much. Final third was poor, but I thought we'd done enough in the game.
We controlled most of it.
Yeah, we controlled most of it, and we kept on getting frustrated. Keeper made a couple of good saves, and then all of a sudden, Czech Kyoto come out. Can someone tell me?
Kuyate.
Just do I do, say Czech.
Czech come up with an absolute stunning goal.
Czech who, actually?
It was a Lanzini-esque goal, wasn't it, really?
It was a great goal, great finish. You don't really see him hit him from there as well, do you? Usually he gets it easy in there, getting headers and tackles.
It was the first time he picked up the ball and run at him.
Yeah.
But you know what? We should have done that on Wednesday. Because the keeper was a third choice goalkeeper. We don't shoot enough from outside the box.
But you say that goalkeeper they had in's had 4 Premier League games for them and he's kept 3 clean sheets. So he's not bad, but no, Czech, like I said, well, like you said, he run towards him. It was a great strike and a great finish.
It's like he just picked up the ball and said, "Right, fuck it, I'm going to have this." And just-
He's impressed me of late in the midfield as well. And do you know what? Noble had a superb game.
Yeah,
I thought he had a superb game.
I think you're right. Everyone had a decent game, apart from really. Snodgrass weren't. He was better than what he was last week.
It was
but he's still not good enough.
He's not. Yeah, he ain't showing what he showed for Hull.
I was happy with Ayew because I thought he really worked hard, and you could see him right. He was up there, and he's going, "Come on, get up!" Like urging the players to get up.
Do you still think we look lethargic though?
Yeah.
We just look so tired after about 25 minutes.
Yeah.
There's no movement.
Oh, it's awful.
There's no movement at all. Them little triangles.
It's in spells, isn't it?
Yeah, we don't create them little triangles. We don't force the teams far enough. We literally get the ball on the wing and everyone's standing static in their positions, not pulling the teams about, not trying to make the runs. And if someone does make a run, they never pick them out ever.
We ain't got them type of players though, have we? Apart from Lanzini, there's no one really in there that creative is there that can take people on. Like it's all the same. And
Antonio,
the thing is, Antonio, but someone that suit West Ham perfect is someone like Signesson or even like Wan Mata. We're just missing a player just like that, just a slot in. And
By the way, we're not saying Wan Mata's going to come to West Ham.
No. But I'm just saying a player like him, like
Before the comments go a bit mad.
That's someone that plays as a number 10, drifts in, collects the ball, and then
there's times in the
thread the
game
pass.
when players seem for players that train together every day, they seem on different wavelengths. You know, people are expecting the ball to go here or the movement to be there, and I think there's about 3 or 4 times when someone like Ayew's got the ball and he's going like that because he's got no one to pass to.
I'll be honest with you, mate. I don't think they do enough in training. I don't think.
I don't know how to do anything in training.
They do shooting practice.
Yeah,
they put it on
that's
YouTube
it,
every day. See Zaza pinging them in the top corners.
Carroll at the post.
Yeah.
Which means you can't blame the players if they're not. It's not down to them, is it?
But no,
Get yourself fit down.
See, I was thinking about this today, right? That is it. It ain't about the players. It ain't about like if the training is not good enough and they're not fit enough. It's down to the player to keep yourself in tip-top condition.
If your mum made your dinner every day and she didn't do it, and she didn't do it for 5 days on a spin, what would you do? Starve or make yourself a dinner?
Yeah, no, but if I'm 8 years old, do you know what I mean? Like,
No, but
They're not 8 years old.
no,
though.
they're not, but they're players. But you need to set out the regimen for them.
But no, you look back at
They
players,
know what it takes.
Exactly. You look back at players like Di Canio.
It shouldn't be
Ian
because
Wright.
that's their place of work. That's what they should
Exactly.
be doing there. No, I totally agree with that. But I'm just saying, like, if they're not doing it there, make a complaint.
Maybe
But that's the problem with modern Premier League. They won't make a complaint. They'll just say, "Oh, fucking hell, this is easy."
Maybe they're just worried, like they're worried about him getting injured. Because look at the record we've had over the last few years, training ground injuries. Maybe they just don't want to make them work that hard.
They need to fix that then, because we shouldn't have to have an easy training just so your players don't get injured. It's just.
No, they shouldn't have an easy training session. But if players start breaking down in training, people are just going to moan. The training's too hard.
Yeah.
You can't win. But
exactly.
go in the gym, get on a running machine, keep yourself fit.
Go back to the olden days when they never come out until like a couple of minutes before kick.
Go and run around it in Forest until you're sick. That's what they used to do. Anal Forest, wasn't it?
Remember that under doing the old anal Forest cross country.
Billy Bonds used to do that, didn't he? He used to go through Chadwell Heath from the Chadwell Heath all the way
for anal Forest.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
It's athletics training there, isn't it?
Oh, it's a different kettle of fish.
Sports science and all that.
Yeah, but no, the game was a bit. I was nervous. I'll be honest, because I could just see West Brom coming up, especially as the game started to tick on. I said to him, especially when we brought Fernandes on, and we sort of wasted that third sub in the 70 minutes. I thought, and he said to me, "This is going to come back, bite him in the arse."
No, what I said was if they equalise, we can't bring on Sacco Carroll now. So this is like this sub here could determine Billich's future at West Ham.
Yeah.
But it worked out well because I thought Fernandes played well.
He done alright when he come on. The one for
Gooley
me
was the one that surprised me.
Yeah, I know. I was dreading him coming on because
straight away he got into the game, didn't he?
Yeah.
He went down the wing and
He's very hot and cold, isn't he?
Yeah, but the thing was for me is I'm thinking, hang on, we're holding on to a 1-0 lead here. You want someone who's going to defend. We're bringing for Gooley on.
Yeah, he took a Scotty and put on for Gooley, and he, as we see at Middlesbrough, he can't defend.
No, he did alright. Perhaps I would have, if
Bournemouth,
Sacco
sorry.
was fit enough, I would have brought him on for Ayew. Give him 15 minutes. You know he's going to work hard. You know, I know it's a forward and you're trying to see out the game.
has he played at the London Stadium yet, Sacco? I don't think he has he?
No, he might not have, you know.
No, he hasn't. This was going to be his first home game there.
That's what I mean. He'd have been buzzing, wouldn't he, coming on there?
He mentioned it in his interview. He went like, "Oh, this is looking forward to playing my first game at the stadium."
They're saving him for Spurs at home when he nicks the winner in the last minute.
Thing is, with Antonio going out, maybe he'll have to start against Sunderland.
But he can play out on the wing, can't he? Like
It's a good replacement to have.
When Saka's on form, he's a top striker, but he just seems to go missing sometimes, like during games, and his attitude stinks. But you know, like we got 6 games left now of the season.
6, yeah.
I think, as you say, I'm pretty confident that we're safe. Don't count your chickens. Get to Sunderland.
I think one more
pick
point.
up points there. Yeah. And then you can start looking forward, and then we can start to think who needs replacing, who needs to go.
There's a lot of people that need replacing in that team.
I was sitting there today, and you could probably offload
10?
11 to 12 players, I think,
I'd say.
at that
Easy.
squad.
Easy.
And then you sit there and think, I don't want them to do that because we're not going to go and sign 11 or 12 players to replace them.
Well, we signed 13 last summer.
Yeah.
And plus, if you do that, you're asking for trouble because look at QPR.
I think Naldi might get a run out next week.
Who?
No,
Scott's mate.
I can't
Naldi
see it.
Nordvall.
Oh, Nord. Yeah.
To be fair, mate, I think I think Fernandes will probably come in and replace Noble.
The thing is, he could slot in there and play in front of the back four because that's his natural position, isn't it?
To be honest, if you want him to play, it's Sunderland. You want him because it is a game when you've not played for God knows how long. You need a game to get a bit of confidence. It's a team who are down and out. Really,
I like Fernandes though. I want him to get a start. You know, I would just.
Nordvall
hasn't. He's just. There's no point trying to play. He hasn't played since when Tottenham.
But that's where I don't think Slavs sort of utilise his squad properly throughout the year. These players, I know they've been poor at games, but you need to sort of bed them in, and that's Kaleri for me.
He hasn't been given a fair crack.
Hasn't been given a fair crack. Hasn't been used enough. No. There's touches there. I can see them.
Yeah.
There's touches there.
His hold-up play for a little guy is so good. You see it today, 2 or 3 times. The ball's up in the air. He holds off the defender, controls it. The guy can't hit a barn door with
his hands. Sometimes.
Yeah.
He's got that work rate. Do you know what I mean?
But it's again the movement. He's got the movement.
Tevez-esque work rate with the finishing power of me.
I think he's even worse than you.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
He just needs that end product, doesn't he? And I think like by just keep playing and keep shooting and keep trying things out, I
don't think they've utilised the squad, especially when you think about the injuries and the suspensions and things like that we've had. Mm-hmm. I don't think they've utilised the squad enough. I don't think some of the newer players have been given enough. Fernandes, for me, hasn't been given enough play time. He hasn't been given enough starts. He comes on 10 minutes from the end every game. Yeah. Nordvall, although he was terrible at right back,
it's not his natural position.
He hasn't been and centre back. He hasn't got a game in his natural position where, you know, now is the time. Well, no, 10 games ago, 20 games ago was the time to start sort of like rotating a squad. And that's what I don't think he's done enough this year.
No,
I don't think...
he hasn't, like you said, when there's been times he's gone for the square peg in a round hole instead of trying to use the squad of players that he's got. I just hope next season we start doing what Everton have been doing, bringing the young players in. You know, we've got some good young talent and they're going to be wasted unless we start using them. They're only going to get better if they start playing and play with the experience.
I was saying this a couple of years ago, like a couple of weeks ago, where a couple of years ago we was that team that used to bed in you're talking 15, 20 now, that used to bed in the new talent and bring them in and bed them in, and then all of a sudden sort of under Roda, would you say that was fair? Roda?
No, who brought in?
No, see, we had that spell under Zola, Hines, Stanislas, Collins, Tompkins. They all come through, didn't they?
Yeah, it was Allardyce. He was
Allardyce,
the one that
he put the stoppers on it. But there's, but that's what I'm saying. The Premier League is such a high risk thing these days.
Yeah, it's so much risk,
and they can't afford to try things out. But
other teams do.
Teams do, like Man United. Who would have ever thought Rashford? Harry Kane, for fuck's sake. I remember Tottenham fans saying he's never going to make it at Tottenham. He's useless.
The thing is,
he's one of the best strikers probably in the world.
But look at Southampton. Southampton have sold over £100 million worth of talent from their youth academy by just giving them a go.
Fuck me, you thought these two fuckers would be all over that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you the thing is, you could chuck someone like Josh Cullen in that team now with the people like Cech and Noble around him, and he wouldn't look out of place.
No, exactly.
But you couldn't start next week with all of them.
No, of
You know
course
what I
not.
mean?
You've
No, that's
got-
what I'm
you've
saying.
got-
we all
Yeah.
say it.
No, that's what I'm saying. You couldn't chuck.
Yeah.
You couldn't chuck Samuelson in there and Reece Oxford at the back and Burke and then
Well,
Cullen
I
because it
want to
wouldn't
see
work.
Burke. I want to see Burke next year.
Cullen,
Yeah,
as well.
but-
Cullen.
He was 21 today. They're not getting any younger, are
Cullen-
they?
They've got a lot of pre-season games coming up with a tour, and so they need to play in them. We ain't got that we ain't got Europe this year,
No.
which is good. We can have a full pre-season.
We haven't had a lot of cup games either.
No, we ain't had a lot. Of
Well,
games
not
this
that
year.
they would have been played because they've been out on loan.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It's just we just got to be careful that with the youngsters is that we don't pedestal them too much. You know, put them up there like with Reece Oxford. You know, you want to make sure that they come in.
Yeah, but Reece
And there's no
Oxford.
pressure on
The
him.
thing is, we didn't put him on a pedestal. He just
Yeah.
played
Yeah.
the game of his life at the Emirates,
Yeah.
and we won.
Media ran with it.
And the
Yeah.
media was like,
And it-
16-year-old
that's-
Reece Oxford
that's-
keeps
that's-
Ozil in his back
Yeah,
pocket.
and that's what we've got to be careful of, especially with Cullen. Cullen could come in and he could be a massive player in our midfield, but we've
Which
got
I
to
think he
manage
will
him
be.
the right. Yeah, he's got to be managed the right way. You know, we can't afford. You don't not right, we don't
think-
know him personally. We
to
don't
be
want to
honest
be
with
too
you,
big-headed.
next season, I think we've got enough in midfield. If we bring Cullen in, we've got Nobes.
I still
Bobby
think
Cech.
I still think we need someone, another
Fernandes.
creative player.
Yeah,
Someone like
Sigurdsson,
Sigurdsson. I think. It,
Oh, but I would count him as more of a forward player.
Yeah, but I
we
think
we definitely
losing-
ain't got enough forward players.
losing Payet, as much as we don't like him, he's been a massive loss, and you can see that in our performances. But we need a player like him, well, not exactly like him, because he is good on his day. But we need someone similar sort of player, so it ain't just relying on Lanzini all the time to be the one that create things.
If you could get a time machine and bring back a player from the past to fit that role, who would it be?
Start on the social now.
Devonshire.
Brooklyn.
Nah, mate.
I would say
I'd stick
Berkovic.
Billy Bonds right in the middle.
Berkovic, I would say.
Or Yossi Benayoun. I used to
Benayoun,
love
yeah.
Benayoun.
Yeah.
Billy Bonds. We need a Billy Bonds in midfield.
It's that
Without
type of
doubt.
player. It's that type of player we're looking for, isn't it? Like a Berkovic.
Yeah, someone
Benayoun.
that just gets their head down and runs
And
it,
can
like a
make
Joe
things
Cole, a
happen.
young Joe Cole.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's what you need. Someone like him.
I was talking to today and saying, like, you know, Joe Cole and that Cole and Carrick. You know, Carrick done the dirty work. Carrick.
What's his name?
Carrick.
Carrick.
Same thing.
Carrick. Just
Yeah, but you know, having that deep holding midfielder
Yeah.
who can pick a pass, and then having that nippy, quick, tricky player. You know.
The thing is, times have changed as well since then. The game's so negative now. I barely enjoy it anymore, to be honest.
It's been a long season, and you go back to the disappointment in Europe, and then
Cups.
like the cups and just the thing with the stadium, the Payet situation, and the board, the players, fans turning on each other. You know what I mean? It's been a long season, and
Finally
It's
coming
been
to
a
the
lot
end.
of negatives.
yeah, I think everyone at West Ham needs that summer now, just to go away from the club for a little while.
Yeah, have
go
a break
relax,
from West Ham.
Yeah, go cos for a week.
chill out.
Yeah.
You know, just and then get the season.
Although
up and
it's
running.
funny, you know, you say about that and have a break from West Ham. We're still here pumping out content, aren't we?
but
you ain't got to go every week.
Yeah, we ain't got to go up
Oh, yeah,
and down
yeah,
the
yeah.
country, and we can just do our stuff from home or
concentrate on
go
it.
to the Olympic
What
Stadium.
I'm not
around the
looking
corner.
forward to is the transfer circus. Being linked to every fucking player.
Do you know one thing? If I could have one thing this summer, right?
Barbecue.
I don't know. Well, yeah, we're going to do that anyway. But I just don't want to see all our potential targets or signings being posted all over Twitter.
I think what West Ham need to do is they need to identify their targets
Yeah.
and get them done quick.
Yep.
You don't need people coming out on Twitter saying, "Oh, we're signing him, we're doing this. Oh, he's having a medical," because other teams get their nose up and think, "Oh, hang on."
Keep quiet.
Yeah,
and
don't get me
we're
wrong. If
after.
Swansea go down, Sunderland go down, people are going to be after Defoe. There's going to be about 20 clubs after him.
He'll come to us, though.
Significant.
He'll choose us over
But
it.
you don't know, mate, do you?
He
You
will.
don't know.
He will.
You don't know.
Yeah.
He's been to America already.
But then-
he didn't like it.
But then again,
Well, technically, we're Canada.
yeah, but what if a Chinese
Well,
team comes in
American
for him?
League.
Possibly.
And the thing is, as well, what if we want to go for someone a lot younger?
No, but we should. If we should go free, you should just go for him and someone younger.
Yeah,
Like he shouldn't be our only striker we sign. Otherwise, that would be a disaster.
Sacco, I'm going to make a prediction now. I think Sacco and Carroll will be gone in the summer.
Wow.
I don't think Carroll will go.
I think he
Saka
will. I think Carroll will go to China.
Carroll will only go if it's big money.
Yeah, I don't, because I can't see. He's really happy. He's really happy in London.
I hope so, 'cause I love him, but he just.
I don't think he'll go. Saka, yeah, I think he'll go. But they need a big clear out.
But that's what I'm saying. Where do you stop with a clear out? You know,
you have to stop somewhere.
Yeah, you got.
You can't.
You know, you're saying Sacco, you're saying Enna, you're saying possibly Carroll. Yeah, that's three already.
That's all of that.
That's all our strikers.
Yeah,
we're left with Fletcher because Caleri's gone anyway. So
well,
four.
unless we
Four
sign
out
him
the
on a
squad.
permanent.
Yeah, that's 4 gone. So you're left with Fletcher.
Yeah,
you can't then like.
But we need a
try and
major
get 4
rebuild.
strikers.
No,
we need a major rebuild, but you've got to do it in stages.
That
Carroll, I say.
squad and that team needs a good 80 million chucked at it.
I think more.
I think
More,
I'm
I've
just
said at
saying,
least
like,
100.
You could get out of 80 million, you could get 3 or 4 quality players. That's all that squad needs. 3 or 4 quality players. Don't go out and get 13 players like last summer.
It's not GM.
I think if 80 to 100 million to really improve the side, if they wanted to take a risk and chuck sort of 200 million at it,
No chance.
I know you've got no chance, but I'm just saying, like after
Like they chuck 200 quid at it.
I know what you're saying, right? But if they're serious about making up for the short failings of last season, they will pull something out the hat.
It also depends who's going to be in charge because it might not even be Bilic.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That's the big question.
I mean, I've been saying it.
It's a big question, isn't it? Is it not a big
No,
question?
that's a big question the way you said it. Like the end of a mystery. Tune in next week. No, but you don't know. I've always said this with Bilic. I don't think he can attract them big players. Someone like Mancini. I'd rather have Bilic, mate.
Yeah,
But Mancini, I wouldn't turn my nose up at. You know what I mean? Because I think he could attract big players.
I wonder if we could end up getting back Rafa Benitez.
Why would he want to leave Newcastle?
If
though?
Newcastle didn't go up, didn't come
they're
up.
up. They're up.
They're going to come up, yeah.
Why
But
would he want to leave?
I'm
there?
just saying, like.
We had the chance with him 2 years ago, and
But we didn't, did we?
He
He was signed. He was signed
in
sealed,
Madrid.
and it was his Madrid dream.
yeah, but then
If
I'd look at that and think, well, I know it was Real Madrid, but he walked out on us that quick, so he'll do it again if someone else comes in.
I don't
for
think
him.
you could really blame
Real
him for
Madrid.
Real Madrid.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
don't matter
That's
if
his
it's Real
club,
Madrid.
isn't it?
Real
Yeah.
Madrid sacked their managers like anything. He could have had a project with West Ham. He could have had 3 or 4, 5
Yeah.
seasons.
Yeah, but you
like-
have to be backed by the board, and I can't think of anyone that's been backed by the board.
the
To
thing
be
is
honest,
that someone like Mancini, Benitez coming in, they're going to want control of everything. You know, they're not
but
going to be
maybe
happy
that's
they
what
should
we
give
need.
Sullivan
Maybe
a
that's
player.
what we need. Maybe we need someone to come in and say, "No, I deal with this,"
Yeah.
and if you don't like it, I'll just walk out the door.
Because look at this shit about, that's a Bilic signing. No, it's not. It's a Sullivan signing. He signed this shit. And you don't know who signed what shit.
Apparently,
Yeah.
out of all the players we signed, it was split between Sullivan, Bilic, and is it
Emery.
Emery.
No, anyway, like
So is it
Unai Emery? Tony Emery.
Yeah.
No, what is he like? He's fucking something.
Chief head
isn't he?
scout
Chief
or
head
whatever,
scout.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what he is, but look, the thing is, we're talking like about Bilic is like he's gone, like he's still here.
No,
and
yeah, no, that's it,
hopefully,
but-
like.
But what do we think though? Like, will we? Like, if we?
I personally
where do
think
you
he will stay. I reckon he will stay.
Keep him. Yeah.
I don't see a reason why not.
They'll have to pay out for his.
What
last
I'd do
year,
to what I'd say is right. Look, Bilic, it's been a bad season, right? You've had a lot to deal with. He can't hardly walk. He's got to have an hip operation. Don't forget he had an operation earlier in the season.
So,
as
but
well.
why didn't he have? I don't mean this rudely, right? And I loved him at the Euros. Why didn't he have the hip operation instead of doing the punditry at the fucking Euros and having his hair replaced?
Yeah, but we had the early start, didn't we, in the season? They were back to training quite
what I mean.
early.
What if you have an operation the day the season ends? He would have been back by
The thing is as well with this season is that we've lost.
a lot of people say that was a lot to do with preparation as well.
Yeah, but we lost our best player.
Not only that,
We lost our player that dragged us through games.
Yeah,
last
what I'm
season.
saying is that like with Bilic, I'd say to him, right, it's been a bad season. Get pre-season together. Give him 10 to 12 games next season. If there's no improvement, because it's gonna be tough next season because our first 3 games are away.
Yeah.
I was sitting there thinking the other day about what we say about the board and things like that, and I was thinking, are we just being harsh? You know what I mean? Are we being a bit pedantic? Are we putting these blames on it?
The thing is, you've got to blame someone, and you blame everywhere. You blame the players, the manager.
Yeah,
the
yeah, I
board.
know what you mean. But
Everyone's got a part to play.
Are we just being a bit bitter because of the stadium thing?
Yeah.
But it's not just us. I was listening to Five Live the other night, and they had a good conversation about them. And there was people on there saying like who have no affiliation to the club. They talk too much. They talk
that is
way
the
too much.
Yeah,
They promise things. And I was reading an article from Knees Up Mother Brow. I posted this a couple of times on our Twitter. Well, the geezer in 2010 predicted what they'll do to the club, and it is spot on.
Yeah.
To the
He was
T.
Birmingham fan, wasn't he?
Birmingham
He done
fan.
exactly as they done
Yeah.
exactly the same thing with Birmingham.
Birmingham
That was a bit
team.
scary, really,
They'll start shouting about Champions League and spending money. They'll go after players that they've got no intention of getting. They'll blame wages and high inflation for the fact that you can't pay these players the money they want and all that. Everything happened. Every single thing. That was made in 2010. 2010.
And the thing is, a lot of you see the comments of people who support Birmingham on our videos, you know, and they back it that they ruined that club by selling it to who they sold it to.
So when I was talking to someone after when you was doing fan camp, someone was talking to me and they was talking about the owners, and I said it don't matter what they do from there on, and what they done for us in the past was great, but they'll always be remembered for the owners that took us away from the bowling ground. That's all they'll ever be remembered for.
The thing is, I think anyone coming in with the opportunity to come to the London Stadium would have took us away from the bowling ground. Don't matter who it was.
We need to win something for them to be vindicated for that decision. Do you know what I mean?
I think we left the season or too early. I think if we'd have moved in there, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
If we'd have moved in there in 2019 rather than 2016.
I said the same thing. We should have had one more year at the bowling. But then again, last season was
It's gone
special.
to shit,
Imagine
yeah.
it would
It's
have
gone
been
to
shit
shit,
there
yeah.
this season.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
like, I don't know. Like, look, next season we'll be so used to it.
They've-
I'm used to going there now.
Yeah, exactly. Look,
I'm used to
Still
going to
can't
this.
the
stand
bowling's
it.
gone. We need to move on.
Well, there's still a little bit left, Scott.
Yeah, right, there's a stand left, but it's done. It's
I
dusted.
drove past there the
We're
other
there.
day and we pulled up and I got out and looked in through the gap. Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible. All it is just like you got the one stand left and there's nothing. It's just all like concrete in
When
the
you
middle.
when
and
I used to
dust.
drive in for the night games, coming down the 406, and you see
Just
like
see
you
it.
go over one of the flyovers and you see it. Even during the day, like you see this, and it's just like there's hardly anything left.
Man, isn't it? Like it's just all that history just gone.
But as I said, we're where we are now.
They need to make it the best possible experience. It can
And
be.
I think that's where they've fell short.
Yeah,
it's-
that's
I
That's
don't
what
mean this
I'm-
rudely as well, and I know we've got another meeting coming up soon about the stuff at the stadium. But there was people there employed to make this move a good one, and they failed miserably, and they got paid £1 million bonus.
Yeah, but they made it good for the board.
Yeah, we're talking about improvements.
That's all they care about.
Improvements in the playing squad. There's also got to be improvements in the stadium as well. So they've got a lot of work to do over the summer.
Walk round Arsenal. Arsenal built up the Emirates. Emirates is a different kettle of fish.
No.
It's 10 times better.
I've always said
regardless
Emirates.
of what Sullivan, Gold or Brady says, that Emirates is 10 times. It's a little bit. It's not Highbury, but it's a football stadium, right? But you know
That's
what
it.
the difference is? Makes the differences round there. And I swear down, right? You walk round now, and it is draped. It is draped in their history. They've got fucking places where you can sit. And it's got all Arsenal's history. They've got the stones there. They've got statues everywhere.
But we know full well that the club have got plans to do that. They've got plans to, like, we
But
can't
not
say
to the
too much,
extent.
but no, but with what they've got planned, what they said at that meeting, if they was to do that, the fans would love
Yeah,
that.
and the difference is, the Emirates was built for football. Yeah, it was built for Arsenal. That stadium wasn't built for football and wasn't built for West Ham.
It was built for a sport. No one gives a shit.
That's
about.
it. We're taking over a stadium that's already there. It's not been purposely built like the Emirates was, like the Etihad. Well, the Etihad wasn't, but they transformed it into a football stadium. This isn't. This is an athletic stadium.
strong rumours
that they've
they wanna
just
buy it,
shoved
though, isn't it?
football in.
They're
Sullivan and Gold will never buy that
Yeah, I
that
think so.
ground.
Do you know
Never
what?
ever.
Sullivan and Gold might not.
Why are they going to buy that ground when they're renting it for $2.5 million a year?
Well, you know what I mean, when they sell the club.
When
they'll
that's
value
it. When they sell the club, the new owner will then buy it dirt cheap because that company that run it will go out of business.
I'm going to make this prediction now. I've listened. Look, the club have not told me a thing. I'm going to make that perfectly clear in these meetings. But I can see myself projections about what's going to happen, right? I'll tell you something now. They're not tendering for athletics meetings because it costs too much money to convert.
And who goes and watches it?
Athletics to football, yeah? It costs something like £8 million a time.
And they don't earn that back.
No, and they don't earn it back, right? Eventually, they'll stop tendering for the athletics and it will just become football and concerts, which we could host that anyway. And I think, this is what I think. I think in the end, they'll just go, just do what you want with it. Help us build something over Crystal Palace or whatever. Just do what you want with it.
If they sell the club to the right
what could
people,
they do with it? Because they've fucked the infrastructure up so much. I don't know.
You only things you could pull down one side of it and change the shape.
Could you?
Yeah, of course you could. They can do that. Mate. They won't do it because they won't spend the money.
Scott seems so sad.
Can I just say something?
Go on.
Can we just stop talking about all this and just we won?
Yeah, no, it is. It's good
We won a game.
Yeah.
We won a
I
game.
forgot
of
about
football.
that.
Don't worry about all that. We'll do a whole video on this at the end of the season review.
Or at the start of the summer when we still ain't signed
Do you know
anyone.
what? It's next season's going to be. It's just so uncertain. I don't know how we're going to be in next season. If it's going to be more of this, or we're going to go back and have a great season, or
Listen, it's West Ham, innit? We've been there since kids and we've watched it.
Whatever it is, we'll be there watching.
Of course we will. Listen, we get relegated, we'll still be there. We're at the bottom of League 2, we'd still be there. So, you know.
I don't think you would be, Scott.
Yeah.
Of course we would.
No, you're a glory hunter, mate.
Yeah.
Glory hunter who sport West Ham. Should we wrap it up there?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Yeah. Thank you
That's
very much
the question.
for watching this edition of West Ham Fan TV's post-match pint. Go and follow us on Twitter at West Ham Fan TV, facebook.com/West Ham Fan TV. All the content during the week. Go back and check the Arsenal stuff out. Check all today's stuff out, and there'll be content coming up this week for the Sunderland stuff and whatnot. You're not interrupting.
Great chat with Robbie,
I'm
isn't
joking.
it? So yeah,
I'm
no.
not joking.
That Robbie thing, I'm saying, like, that's not just around the game. Like, you can watch any time. It's a really interesting watch.
Yeah,
the
that
chat
is
you
a
had
really
with
interesting
Robbie,
watch.
so.
Yeah. What?
You.
Yeah, so go and check all that out. Thanks very much for watching, as I said before. And one thing left to say,
Come
bolts
on,
and
you
hose. How come your hands?